slide, two fast and two furious definition presentations presented by Mihai Barabas. A few asked about the sprints. We'll start in a few minutes in the hall. I will ask Andrei Matescu and Adrian Cosma to come here and to meet them. They will organize the sprint. Those guys from there. If you are interested to contribute to Drupal 8 or to find some tasks to work on, just search them. They will be outside at the round tables. We will organize the sprint. Thank you. Mihai? Any guesses on how this would run with a Mongo node? Because we are talking about a Mongo node.
or inserted on a daily basis. That's why they started using Mongo node, and it got fast. And in this presentation, I hope that you will all see an interesting solution for storing data. We will see how this solution can help, what are the pros and cons, how it was developed, what is the current state. And hopefully you will benefit from this module, and who knows, maybe even contribute to it. I hope I got your attention with these numbers. That was the purpose. Who are we? Oops. We forgot to introduce ourselves. My name is Mihai. I work for Arad with Drupal for about 3 years. And this is my good friend Vlad. He works for Silex in Romania, and he's also working with Drupal for quite a while. And for about a year, we started working together on a huge project, and that's why we've started working together on this module. So what we will see in this presentation, we've already seen what was the challenge. The challenge was to save data from Drupal in Mongo. We will see what this module does. Then you will see some really nice pros and cons. You will see a quick demo, and then some recent benchmarks. Because the ones that you saw were the benchmarks took right after the first version of the module. So let's see about the challenge. As I said before, the challenge was to save the entire entity in Mongo. There is one important note that I want to point here, is that the challenge was to include the entity fields inside the entity itself. As you all know, in Drupal, we have a storage for the entity itself. For example, for the node, we have the node table. For the user, we have the user table. And then all the other fields go in their own storage, like their own data, their own table. The challenge here was to store everything in one document in Mongo. Let's see how this is done through this module. When we think about Node and Mongo Node, compare these technologies or these solutions, we usually think about the MySQL and MongoDB. So it's basically a comparison between two databases. And I have here just one slide that has some pros and cons that were taken into consideration when they decided to go with Mongo. As we all know, MongoDB is a document database, so it's not really fair to compare a database that is a document database with another one which is a relationship database. So this comparison is really a perspective from a Drupal programmer or from a Drupal site. So if you check the links at the bottom of this page, you will see some nice results. For example, there were some tests with read, write, and size or schema. And these tests favored MongoDB as a storage for these entities. For example, you could insert 2 or 3 times faster in Mongo than in SQL. Or if you wouldn't have the cache, the read would be 1 times 3 or 2 times faster. So the reading or writing data into Mongo. So this is a comparison between Mongo and SQL, MySQL, for example. Then there is the size. When the database grows, you will have some read performance. It will slow the read performance. Also, it could be an advantage that MongoDB is a schema-free. What you have as a plus with the SQL is that it being a relationship database, you can relate content, you can split content, but other than that, there's a problem with MongoDB that it doesn't support multi-document transactions. So what is Mongo Node? Mongo Node is currently in a state of a sandbox, and the reason for that is that we were so busy working on other things that we physically didn't have time to release it. It's a shame, but if you don't like the long link that says sandbox, then you can follow the short one. it says on the module description, and as you can imagine, by now this module is supposed to be a performance boost for replacing the standard node in Drupal, so the standard content. And it saves the Mongo object along with its fields in the MongoDB. It was released in 2013. The guys didn't rush to make it available, and by the time they did it, there was already another module called Mongo Entity. And I think Mongo Entity is a more accurate name for this module, but we can stick with Mongo now. Yes. Some quick features about Mongo Node. It's built on top of Entity API. Therefore, it has rules, search API integrations, or any other module that you can imagine. So you can react on entity save or whatever rules you want to implement, or if you want to index Mongo Node entities, you can do that by using the search API. It also has, and these are recent, it has organic groups integration, and this is even more recent, entity translation, which is a nice feature to have when you want to translate these entities. And also, the last one that I wanted to talk about a little more is the embedded functionality. What does this mean? Is, for example, let's say that you have a Mongo node that is a profile, and you have field collections attached to this profile, right? The field collection could be, in this profile, you would have the profile of a LinkedIn profile or a Twitter profile or whatever. How is this handled in Drupal? Well, the field collection module has its own storage, right? So in the referenced field of the field collection field, you only have the reference of the ID. So you have the ID of the field collection. And using the embedded functionality, which is an add-on to this module, you can choose which field collections should be stored inside the Mongo entity. What you gain by this is a lot of read performance. Because when the entity is grabbed from the database, you already have a preloaded field collection entity. So this does not save time on insert, but it saves a lot of time on load. And it was supposed to be an embedded solution for any referenced field, but currently only field collection is implemented. It's pluggable, so we could extend it for field collection, for example, or other references. And I will take a break now, because I will let my colleague and good friend Vlad tell you a few interesting things about the pros and cons and do a little demo. So a little encouragement for Vlad.
Hi, I'm Vlad. Firstly, I'd like to thank Mihai for its contributions to the Mongo node. He did a lot of integrations by itself for organic groups and embedded. Now I'd like to talk about the pros and cons of Node and Mongo node, because I think a lot of people use the standard node, but I don't know if everyone knows when to use node and what's it best suited for. In general, this is a comparison between Node and Mongo node. In general, the pros of Mongo node are best And in case of Node, you don't have revisions for all the iterations and updates of a node, but for the last version of your node, you have it 2 times. One time in the node and field tables, and another time in the node revision table and field revision table. So that's very bad. And if you want to implement the revisions in MongoNode, we will implement it better and reduce the duplication of data. For Node, if you want simple queries and listing of your content, you can use by default views. It supports it out of the box. In case of MongoNode, it doesn't support it out of the box, but there's a model for that. Views AFQ that uses entity field query. Entity field query is a method to query your data via an abstraction layer that doesn't care where your data is saved. And with views FAQ, you can use simple views with listings, and you have that also in MongoNode. In Node, you can do also advanced queries and views because the way SQL is, it's relational, and you can use fancy stuff in views with the relation. In MongoNode, you can't use joins because with Mongo you can't use joins. It's document based, and you have to store it in a document way. But you can. There are solutions for this also. You can index your data in Solr, and there you have advanced stuff for searching, and it's probably better optimized for searching relations and other fancy stuff to do with views. Another point is storage in 2 cases. In the case of Node, you have for one node and one field, you have 2 tables for node, 2 tables for field, so 4 tables. In the case of MongoNode, you have only one document. Now that's very simple for one node and one field. But if you imagine a node with, for example, 10 fields, you have 22 tables. In case of MongoNode, you have only one document. So it's way lot less tables. I wanted before to show a picture of a database with a node with 20 fields, but I resisted, and because I don't want to make you suffer to view such a large database. And related to the storage part are also the transactions. The create, read, update, and delete. In case of Node, like I said, Node with 10 fields, you have 22 inserts, 22 reads, 22 updates, 22 deletes. A lot of stuff and operations to do. In case of MongoNode, there is only one. So imagine the performance by using one operation. In case of Node, the read can be improved with entity cache, because when the cache is not work, there are 22 reads. If you use entity cache, which is recommended for Node, after the cache is warm, it retrieves from possibly one table. I think it does also other queries, but it's a lot. There are a lot of optimizations by using entity cache with Node. With MongoNode, there is no reason to use entity cache because it's already stored in a document which is very similar to a cache. Another point is the backup and migrate. In Node, you have a lot of tables, so if you want the operations of backup, migrating, you have a lot of stuff to remember to select. If you forget something, it's not that nice. In case of Mongo, everything is stored in Mongo. Almost everything is stored in Mongo. In which you can use, in this case, field name prefix remove, which removes the field underscore prefix. You have a clean name for fields, and also field storage UI that Mihai developed, which allows you to select in the interface the field storage. Like Mihai said, the Mongo node is an alternative for Node, so you have a lot of stuff already in the UI for managing it, listing it. If you want to view all the entity types that are Mongo node types, you can go in the structure, Mongo node, and here you have, I have already article entity type. I'm going to create now a new entity type called company. Here I don't have any bundles yet. I can create bundles. I'm going to create now a company bundle. And now if I go back, I see the company entity type created, the bundle list, and I can now go and create fields. Using Mongo node is a lot better because by using Node you have a lot of bundles, and I saw projects where you have, I don't know, 22, 40 bundles, and you can't decipher what entities are there and what content, and it's a lot of mess. Using separate entity types, it's a lot cleaner and organized. So here I go to the company bundle to manage fields. Here I can add fields just like Node. So I'm going to create one as for example, description, long text, and now you can see that you can choose the Mongo node field storage, which comes from the field storage UI done by Mihai. Okay, so save. And now and now it's added. I'm going to switch to another instance where I have already added a couple more fields. Here I have the company entity type, the company bundle type, and I want to show you one more thing. Here you can edit the
base table of your entities will still be in SQL. So even if you have a node, all the nodes will be in SQL, but all the storage for your fields, the body, and so on, all the fields that are created through this storage will still be stored in Mongo. So you have two storages for one entity. That is a huge bust for help. With Mongo Node, the advantage is that the entity and the fields are in one document. So it's only one transaction. Sometimes it's good to use only the MongoDB. Sometimes you can use Mongo Node. But we found out that in large projects, you will be forced to use all of them, depending on what you want to do. Depending on what queries you want to do, depending on how the company is created, and so forth. There is also the entity construction kit module, which allows you to create entities, or you could attach profile too and have other entities to your users. So the fun part is when you analyze your project and decide what data goes where and why. And yeah, that was us. If you have any questions, we have yeah, enough time, 10 minutes.
What about taxonomies? We say Mongo,
So taxonomies by default are stored in SQL. If you want to say something? Am I wrong?
I forgot to show you how they look in Mongo, because yes, that's good for this question. Because I have here Robo Mongo, which is a tool that displays the content in Mongo, and here are all the components I have. Here is a document, a Mongo document, and here you have the categories, which is a taxonomy. Like I said, and here the taxonomy ID is stored only the ID, and the taxonomy name is stored in SQL. I think you can store it in Mongo also, the taxonomy, but that's for embedded. Probably in the case of embedded, it would be good to store also the entity here, and in case of loading, to not go to SQL, to load the whole taxonomy term from here, from this collection, and store the ID only for reference purposes only. So here is the data. And yes, I forgot to show you this. It has also in the node there is the need. In Mongo node is need, and you have also the type, the title, and I want to show you a multi-value field. There's the social field where you have social zero service, URL, and weight. Here are all the columns you would have stored in MySQL. All those columns are stored now in the Mongo node document, so you don't have to go to another place to get this data. And with the field prefix rename module that excludes the field part, you have beautiful names and clean names for fields. And here for normal fields that don't have reference, for example, you could actually make a web service and get all of your data from here without having to retrieve stuff from other parts.
It's a single document here.
Yes. So everything you saw on the page view is stored here. Everything but references. So the user, for example, there is the user ID. So if you would want to know more about the user, that's a joy problem, right? So the way you can do it is, it depends on what you want to do. If you want to query by ID, you can do it. If you want to query by the name of that user, then you would have to index that data on So that's a disadvantage. For advanced queries with big data, then you would not probably index everything in Solr or whatever search engine. But you can't use, so that's why it's not recommended for smaller projects where you want to use views or simple solutions for displaying data. If there are any other questions?
I have one.
Yes, please.
Let's say we have a database in MySQL like 10 gigabyte plus compressed, lots of users, lots of nodes, like 6-7 million users. It would make a difference to put Mongo on it.
How many data do you have in your live site now?
We have, I think, almost 2 million jobs in our live site, and it makes a difference for imports. If you have a lot of imports every day, we had imports of, I don't know, we first thought it would be of 1 million, but now we have several thousands, I don't know. We have a lot of imports every day, and it makes a difference because they finish very quickly, and you can have more imports today. So it makes a difference in case of a lot of content. We are happy with choosing it for our large projects.
Are there any upcoming features that you are planning to implement that you can look forward to, or?
Yeah, so I will be leaving this behind for the last part of this presentation. The point here is that we have some use cases. We needed this module for specific projects. That's why we developed organic groups implementation, or embedded, just to save everything in one place with field collection. The point is that, or we want to advertise this module because we think it brings a nice value for large projects that are still running in Drupal 7. And the point here is to show the community the module, see your feedback, see your opinion, maybe find some use cases where it doesn't work for you, but we didn't have those cases, and so yeah, we need feedback. I personally would want to implement the revisions because we needed this for it was a task, but we managed it in another way. So revisions would be the next one to do, and then I started working with the embedded functionality for field collection. So not field collection, I'm sorry, entity reference. For example, you have a Mongo node, you have a reference to a user, and then you want to save the user inside in one big document. This is an option that you enable on the field itself. But then you have some problems. You need to make sure that the field collection allows you to do this, and the way it's written now, it doesn't allow you, you have to patch it. And the second problem is that the CRUD operations for the user itself. Let's say the user is updated, then you need to find all the nodes or all the entities that are referencing this user and update them. So then we thought of an embedded solution for this kind of problems, but we need to address them properly because otherwise you can't come with a solution that doesn't work or it's not bulletproof. Any other questions if you have? Okay. Well, thanks a lot.
Thank you very much.